Yo, how's it hanging, Mr. Cooper? You guys know that show, Hanging with Mr. Cooper? No, of course you don't. Anyway, in front of us, this is a Bonecrusher, and this is the second half of the set, including Scavenger, and this is from Mecha Invasion, and now we have all 6 members of the Bestator, and we're going to convert them into Devastator in another video, but for now, we're just going to focus on Homie, and similar to his predecessors from Generations Toys, they are very, very, very similar in terms of them being kind of like a pair of limbs, and so the way he converts into the leg, he pretty much does the same. And bot mode, excluding the things that make him very specifically Bonecrusher, it operates the same. And the Generations Toys guys had the same kind of like design philosophy. But we'll move this guy off to the side and just kind of look at him for a second. The GT version had a lot of like all these moving pistons and stuff like that. And to be completely honest, I didn't really like that. It just got in the way of stuff. And I particularly didn't like the way it's stored in robot mode. It really didn't go anywhere. But this one kind of really simplifies it in that this doesn't even move. These all separate and they can move up and down, but it's really more for the transformation. And this thing also, the movement that it has is reserved for the transformation, but I'm okay with that. One flaw I will say that I found on this, and I haven't really found much flaws with this set, is this gap. I don't know how to get this to sit flush. I really don't. I don't really know what type of joint is coercing it to kind of bend the other way. Okay, it's working out a little bit, but yeah. The other one had some issues too, but I was able to resolve it. But this one, I haven't been able to figure out. There's a small little dirt blemish there. But yeah, as you can see, same blaster storage as the first guy. And we can just pop that out actually while we're talking about it. It unfolds and it just slides out, and that's pretty cool. And it has the same little metal piece with the light up gimmick in the eyes. I don't like putting batteries in my toys. I don't like applying stickers. I just don't like doing all this like extra stuff unless it's a really nice add-on kit, but especially batteries and things like that. So I'm not going to install it, but it does provide really good light piping, and they do have a shell for the back of the head that you can place on, and it all comes with the accessories along with that blaster that I just showed you. The treads don't move or anything like that, and there aren't any tires, but at the same time, I'm not really mad at that. This doesn't move. I mean, I don't think the bulldozer is supposed to move, but like Scavenger, this thing didn't move. And so, but like I said, they retain the same type of like design aesthetic, and so almost twinsies. But yeah, I think we'll get to know him a little bit better once we go into the robot mode, and I can showcase who he is a little bit more in depth. And so I'll be right back, Jack. Hey, a quick station identification and plug for my sponsor, TF Safari. These toys were sent by them, and so this video is brought to you by them. And so yeah, if you have any type of like Transformers need, you're in the market for something like some type of mech, check out TF Safari first and utilize those codes that you see right over here. You're going to save yourself some change. They're a trustworthy company. They ship out of China. They ship quickly, very securely. And so yeah, check them out. Give them a try if you haven't before. tfsafari.com. And so once again, thank you for sponsoring this video, and now back to our program. Alrighty, let's get on with the show, G.I. Joe. And I'm trying to figure out what I need to do first, because I just got this guy yesterday and he's like, hello. I got this guy yesterday, but I'm pretty familiar with Scavenger right now. And so I'm going to assume that, yeah, he's going to operate the same. I mean, it's not that I haven't transformed him. I have, but yeah. So these bits, these had to be the first things that you kind of like removed from, or excuse me, dislodged from Scavenger. And I'm assuming that they're going to be the same for Home Skillet over here. And let me see how that's going to be done. Uh-oh, my brain's getting flummoxed. One moment. Ah, yes, I remember now. You gotta open these up, dude. Funny how a little thing can just like throw you off, or at least throw me off. You gotta open these up, right? And you need to do this because that allows the chest to compress, and it allows you to bring the head up. And later on, you're gonna have to kind of like reverse what you're doing. But see this thing over here, this lift up action? You need to basically remove these bits in order to get the head to pop out and to get clearance. And I'm probably going to be doing a bunch of things out of order right now. And but whatever, dude, I'm sure it's going to work out fine. So we're going to pull the head out right there. Crusher of bones. And this bit is going to all turn around. But just kind of get some clearance there. And yeah, I'm doing a bunch of things out of order, but it's not like critical that you follow the steps. It's just that first bit you absolutely need to. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want this to lie flush. And so you're going to push that up until it clicks in place. And then the feet you will separate and you will bring this down, and you're going to bring this down, and they have you do this. But I don't know, man. I don't like seeing this on the other side. There's no paint and you see this extra bit. So I actually just like having it like that. I like the shovels on the knee. And it doesn't hurt the transformation or affect it in any way, shape, or form. So I'm going to just keep it like that. They kind of look like kneecaps, you know. And then bring the toes out. Bring this bit out. And then you got to spin this. So exactly the same as Scavenger, right? If you watch that video, you're probably like, dude, it's identical. And it absolutely is. And just need to do that. Flip. And bring that up. Shout out to my buddy Philip who watches this channel. Flip. Sorry to use your real name. And but no one's gonna know, man. I didn't use your last name or give out your phone number or anything. So why'd you put me on blast? Don't let people know that I watch toys. Okay, so you bring these down like this again. And so again, like I said, this is how they have it, but I don't know, man. Do you guys agree with me? I think it looks better like that. So, but like I said, your toy, your joy, do whatever you like. And then the feet are pretty much done, and the chest are identical to Scavenger. You're going to fold this down, fold this up, and get that in there. And then the arms, you're going to flip this up, and then you can see that this will kind of like close down on itself. Open up the forearm, press that flap in, bring that down. Same thing over here. Frip, bring that down. Open up the fist, close up the flap. And then this is really interesting. So this will go in at an angle, and you see these tabs? They're actually facing upwards. They're hooked up. Aha, they're hooked up. But these will sit in there if I can get it right. I mean, I know it's just sitting there, but it's not in the groove actually. Or was it? All right, hold up for a second. Okay, what it was is I actually need to just kind of push down the neck over here a little bit, and there you go. And yeah, this kind of stays like that. This will flip around later, I believe. But for the time being, my friends, that is Crusher of Bones that we can give him as blaster. Looks good. Looks good. Looks like some type of like plasma cannon or something like that. And earlier I mentioned that, you know, he has the standard like up down, but his left was impeded. But I forgot that he has a double hinge, and so you can get the A stance a little bit wider and get him into some like cooler action shots. And he has deep ankle pivots, and so yeah, you can get him into some nice poses and stuff. The arm, it does a deep 90. There's like it's a single elbow, but because of the hollow space, yeah, that gets you super deep. And this will fold up all the way because that's a part of the transformation. And so great articulation in this giant behemoth of a Constructicon. And, you know, in terms of scale, I showed this guy off earlier in the Scavenger video. The GT original versions are not this tall, but the Jinbao versions are. And I almost feel like Mecha Invasion, who is apparently Generations Toys, was like, you know what, in our next run, we're just going to make him huge. We're just going to make him huge and like oversize that. But what if Jinbao gets a hold of these molds and it's like, hey, we're going to oversize this thing? That would be gnarly. That would be gnarly. But yeah, Generations Toys, we haven't seen them in a long time. You know, they had Warbatron, and I think they had like a Menasor. And then, of course, they had Gravity Builder. But beyond that, I haven't heard much from them. I think they had a standalone Megatron and an Optimus Prime, like some small figures, and maybe like a Grimlock. Did they have a Computron? I'm not recalling right now, but I can't recall. But here you go, kind of in this like cool stance. Yo, he almost looks like a policeman with the little hat and the little badge right there. You know what I mean? But that's cool. I like the fact that it sits at an angle. It's not conventional, and I like the way that there's hooked tabs coming out from the neck that allow that to sit there. I think that's really cool, man. it can be argued that they are a bit simplistic, but I feel like it's done intentionally, not to be cheap or not to do anything like that, but they're just like big, chunky toys, and they don't move in tiny flaps. They move in big, big portions, and I like that. You know, I got clunky big hands, and so I like the fact that this is a chunky monkey, and their Devastator is absolutely beautiful. You know, from what I've seen, we've seen 4 of 6, but now after I complete this video and film the short for both of these cats, yo, it's on like Donkey Kong, my man. All right, that didn't rhyme. But but we're going to do Devastator soon, and I'm pretty excited about it. But let's get him into his foot mode. But I got to use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, and I didn't wash my hands. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm so eager to convert this guy into Devastator, but again, I got to slow my roll. Okay, so first and foremost, the thing that I forget almost every time is undoing the chest so that we can hide the head. You do need to have clearance, and so once that becomes unlocked, you're going to open this bit up because you do need to separate this bit from this section. And dude, this flummoxes me so much. I always get oh, wait a minute. What the? All right, maybe for Bonecrusher, we didn't need to do that. For Scavenger, you totally did, and it totally messed me up. But alright then, whatever, man. All right. Well, we still got to unfasten these anyway because they're gonna actually adhere like down here. You see those tabs? There is a slot on the inside of this, and I'm trying to do it blind. Oh, there you go. You can see it on this side over here. And you're just gonna bring that down, and there it goes. Alrighty. And all lefty, hefty cinch sack. You're gonna do that. You're gonna close this up, but you're gonna keep this open, and you're gonna fold. You're gonna bring this section up like that. And man, these are so fun to transform. They don't flummox me too hard, and yeah, there's a lot of fun. And also just knowing the final form, this Devastator, is just something that I've been looking forward to for such a long time. Well, they've only been I don't know when the pre-order was announced, but anyway. But nonetheless, I've been looking forward to these cats. I'm trying to remember how this works. Well, I guess we'll get there when we get there. So we're just going to do that. And this will double fold on itself. And that will tab in securely once you can get the tab and slot aligned, which I'm having great difficulty. Okay. I don't know what accent that is. Maybe it's Borat or someone. Nice. Bring that back. And get that to tab in. And yeah, man, these might be metal because they are kind of cool to the touch, whereas the plastic is not. But I guess it's metal with just like some type of shiny paint on top of it. Perhaps it just doesn't really have luster, and they wanted to make it look cooler and nicer. And yeah, I can get behind that. And so from here, you're going to fold the legs back so that they slot into those posts. Bring those together and then tab those in together, and that's it. The sides will not tab into the middle section, and then you can tab that section together as well. And we're almost done. We're almost done. Remember what I said about this section. Let this guide you. Open this up and open this up. And remember, they have to be facing upward. And that will plug in right there. And then we're going to open this up and make sure that the solid facing area is outside. Fold up the fist, fold this down, and then get that tab to plug into that slot right there. And I guess these are just chilling back here. I don't know, man. Whatever, dude. No one's asking me about them, so I'm just going to leave them be. Same thing. Open this up. Open this up. And let this navigate and guide you. And we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Then we're going to bring that down. Then we're going to get that to securely tab in right over there, my dear. And oh, this bit, I hope I can get the clearance on it right now. supposed to flip it over, but I messed up, gang. I messed up. So I think I'll have to undo this, get some space, and then flip that over. And then what'd I do wrong? Oh, Lordy. Lord, it's all coming apart. Gotta get this part to sit up. These will come together. These will press in on that post. And I don't know, man. They'll just hang out over here. I am curious, actually, what the official placement of these things in. I'll probably look it up later, but right now I just don't care as much. And there we go. There we go, Joe. Has ankle tilt, just like the other one. I mean, they're identical. Like, the colors are different, but in terms of like the way they look and the way they transform, you guys all saw that, right? Look at the placement of the arms. Look at the placement of the chest bits. Just only the things that make them unique, you know, their vehicle aspects are the things that make them stand apart. But otherwise, they look really, really good, man. Oh, chunky monks. Loving the I just love all the details on them and how like the text is so clean and everything about these cats, dude. I really, really do hope that they reimagine some of the other combiners. I mean, the other ones kind of had the Scramble City gimmick, and so they're not as it wouldn't be as special, basically, having these guys like swap out roles or something like that, you know. But like, dude, imagine if they reimagine like an Omega Supreme who turned into a combiner. That would be wild, like a Gestalt, or even like a Fortress Maximus or like a Metroplex that was an assembly of bots. I think that would be wild too, you know. But again, these cats are so creative, and so I'm not going to put anything past them. I hope they have great success, and I can't wait to put the Devastator together. And I may just do so in the evening, not even forget about content, you know, just doing it just to have fun. But we'll see. Anyway, thanks for always joining me. Appreciate y'all being here, especially the ones y'all who watch to the end. Appreciate your donation of time. Thank you, TF Safari, and thank you to all the viewers. Catch y'all later. Bye, Gators.